Welcome, and thank you for joining me today in another episode of the Duct Chronicles. Now, I know that you guys have probably created stuff, I don't know if you have, but if you have, you can post it down here using this, or down here, using this hashtag. And if you would like to see my creations, the ones that I've done for this channel, they will be right there. And you can use the QR code there. My name is underneath it if you would like to search it by that. I don't really know how it works, so I'm still learning. And so today we'll be making a duct tape cap, which is the basis of most hats that I make that have the basic head shape of the person who's wearing it. Now, to begin, we're going to start by making a long headband of a long one strip headband that goes all the way around your head. Now, when you're making this, it would be best to make 2 long strips instead of 1 super long strip and try and fold it in half. Because the longer duct tape strips you use, the more likely it's going to crease and fold and cause a sort of bubble in them. Anyway, like you can see here, I made this one a little too short, so I need to add a little more duct tape to it, because you want it to fit loosely, because you don't want it to be a struggle to fit on. Even your head might grow a little bit, but you just want it to be a loose fitting. See how it just pull it just a little bit looser, more loose anyway. So you want it to be like that. And once it is the way you want, once it's loose, and you just tape it and connect it to where it's one continuous headband, it fits easily on and off. That's the ideal way to make it. Now, once you have the headband successfully made, you are going to take the duct tape and pull a second strip of duct tape that this one you can make twice, or make it long and then fold it in half, because it is not too long, but you're going to make it basically over half the length of the headband, because this is going to become a support structure for the headband, so it's not sitting on your ears. This is going to go a mohawk like this, and it's going to hold it up. This is going to keep it to where it's not pressing, because having a crease on your ears, that gets uncomfortable after a while, and no one really wants to be uncomfortable when wearing this stuff because it looks cool. So you want it to feel good. Now, you want it to be not high on your head. You want it to be lower so it has difficulty coming off. You don't want it just blow off in the wind. You want it to stay on until you decide to take it off. But to attach it on is very simple. You just need to tape it on one side and then the other, just making it as sealed as possible to the duct tape headband as possible, making it the best suitable way. And you don't have to have it perfect. You can have a rough estimate to the headband to make it work. And once that you have both sides creased and taped on with each other, you're going to make a second headband that is, well, I'm going to wait for this one to finish, but once you do, you're going to make a second headband that is needed, because it's not just a one way. You're going to make a sort of cross section with the two you're going to basically be doing the same thing, but on the horizontal side. And it would be helpful to use a sort of Sharpie or something to label which side's front, but it doesn't really matter, it's a circle. Anyway, so once you have the side part made, you measure it the same way. You want it to be a little looser than the first one because it'll go on top of it. Now you can do this without measuring on your head. You can just apply it on as long as it's loosely fitting on top of the first one, just so that there's a light difference between them. So, and once you have that, taping on it is basically the same way that you would normally, but the way that it is to be done is basically the same. It's stripping on top. You can either do it vertically or horizontally, connecting it. It doesn't really matter. It's only making it a little bit thicker, but you do your thing, you know? There's not really a right way to do it. Now you'll find out by experience what's the wrong way to do it, but I can't really teach you the wrong way. I would like to teach you one of the right ways. But the teaching of duct tape is not really that... where was I going with this? I don't know. But once you have the second cross done, you can continue on to making sort of the last step of it. The last step is basically having you have the headband and cross strap. This is going to be like the skeleton structure of the base. And what you're going to do with this is you're going to basically have duct tape on... Oh yeah, you're also going to need to connect the two cross beams like this. If you need to have them together so they're not sliding and they won't get, unaligned on your head. You want it to be right in the center so that they have an even distribution from all the sides. Now for the final step, which is having the duct tape sort of as a connection between the crosses and the headband. So how this is going to look is you're going to have the duct tape on the inside of the hat base, and you're going to have it poked out. You're going to have it pointing out, sticky side out, just so that you're going to have it loosely connecting, so you're going to have it arc out. And don't worry about having it too far out, because you can always fold it inward. You can always push it in and crease it on itself. Anyway, so you're going to make this the way it is, and when you're basically going to layer it up on itself, just keep pushing it up, and you want to follow the basic arc of the hat. You don't want to make it a straight line, because then that cuts it off and it basically makes the cross section useless. So you want to create more of a dome, and also your head's not a triangle unless it is. Then good for you. But when you're making the connection between them, you want to start with the paper on the inside pointed out, with the sticky side pointed out, because it's a lot easier, I have found, to tape the second layer from the top facing in than the inside facing out. Because if you're trying to work inside the hat, that gets very crowded after a while, and you don't have really much area to work with. But if you do it from the outside, you have a lot more area and surface to work with and to retry and to go at it from a different angle. Now you can do what I just did there, and you can pat it down to where it has the basic arc. You're trying not to leave any air holes in between them, because if there's an air hole, that means that's a place where the outside duct tape can stick to your hair, and that is not very comfortable. One thing also that I found, it's not comfortable at all. And so you want to fix this before you actually start putting it on. Now, during any point of this process, once you have the inside done, you can put it on your head and make sure that it fits nice and it doesn't really change fitting. It should fit the same way. And now that we're doing the outside, you can start, when you're doing the outside, it's not about just putting it on. You need to make it as even and as sort of flawless as you can. You want to use long, even strokes to cover the whole thing and as less of the area that you can, because this side is what's going to be seen, and you want it to look as good as you can. Now, when you're doing this, you can pat it down the same way that you did the inside, just to have that firm connection between the inside and outside. And now that I have this one done, I am going to time lapse the other three, because I wouldn't really have a lot to say because they're all the same, and so it's the same really thing. It's just going through the different motions again on the different sides. So once that is done, then we can have this project will be done. And so the reason why I'm doing the hat base first is because a lot of my other duct tape hats use this hat base. Now, a little teaser on the next video, it's a hat that's not going to use a hat base. It's going to be a pineapple. And I'll let you think about that for the next time. Anyway, so while we're here, I thank you for watching my video today, and I hope to see you on the next one. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment on whether you like the Duct Tape Chronicles, whether you like the way I'm teaching it, or if you have any suggestions for what I should do. You know, any platforms that I should use, anything that could help me in a way for making this a better duct tape creation. So, thank you very much for joining me today. Now I'm just going to have I'm gonna have this. This is the cap. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you in the next, episode of the Duct Tape Chronicles. Thank you, and goodbye.